My mom died, and I lasted 1 year after her death. I was a mama's boy, and I started drinking again. And I lost everything. I lost my truck. I lost the boat. I had a brand new boat. I lost that. And then my apartment, the landlord let me stay there a year without paying it. I lived in Catonsville, in Ingleside, and I was drinking. I was panhandling to get my booze money in Catonsville. And then I got kicked out of where I was living in my apartment, and I became homeless. If you were sleeping in the street, the kids will bother you. I mean, if they hear any change in your pocket, they'll rob you. I mean, it's brutal. My stepmom and my sister were real mad at me for living on the street, but they wouldn't let me come home to their house because I drank. And so I stayed on the street. I panhandled. I went to a couple times. Most of the time I'd live in the woods since the shelters wouldn't take me. So I was at GBMC sleeping in the woods, and I was drunk up, and it was winter time, and it was dead of the winter. And I panhandled to get my booze money and take a bus there. And I was sleeping, passed out in the woods, cold as hell. And I wake up because I'm freezing to death. And I tried to get up to get warm, but my legs wouldn't work. I couldn't even get up. And I was just laying there in the woods, and I'm thinking, well, this is it. So I crawled out of the woods, and I finally got up to the sidewalk, and one of the young girls that got to college here called 911. And the ambulance came, they picked me up. They took me to Northwest Hospital. And the guy told me I had pneumonia. I've had pneumonia I don't know how many times from sleeping outside. I mean, when it really got cold, I mean, unbearable, and you can't stand it, you try and hide in the hospitals, in the emergency room, to keep warm. But they got wise to that, So I checked myself into the hospital, tell them I had something wrong with me, and they'd have to take me in the emergency room. And I knew that was another 8 or 9 hours I'd be out of the cold, because alcohol doesn't keep you warm, trust me. I was living in Catonsville, and I went to the liquor store on Emerson Avenue, and I panhandled to get my booze money. I got a fifth of vodka, and I went to go drinking it, but I wouldn't drink it on Emerson Avenue because I was afraid of the open container law. So I walked up this neighborhood and saw a house for sale. I knew nobody was home, so I sat on their front steps and I did it. I started drinking, and then I noticed there was a shed in the back, so I didn't have nothing to do. I'd take me in the bottle, go around and check the shed out. So we opened the shed doors, and there's just 2 sleeping bags in there. Just 2. One's a real thick one. And man, I moved right in there. I mean, that was heaven to me. It was wintertime when this all happened. And the real thick sleeping bag, I got in that at night. I'd drink my vodka. And the next morning I'd get up, or get up, take a bus up to Walmart from Rolling Road and panhandle all day. Then I'd go back to the shed. One night I went back to the shed and somebody had padlocked the shed. So there I was out in the cold again. So I had some friends of mine that I knew they drank, so I went back downtown, and I went to their house. And before I went, I stopped and got a fifth of vodka. And they let me stay there. And that night, they had passed out. I got up to go to the bathroom, and I tripped and fell into the entertainment center. And I cracked 7 ribs and broke one. And I'm laying on the floor all night, just drinking my vodka and smoking cigarettes. Didn't care. And then next morning at 9 o'clock, I'm at the vodka. So I decide I'm going to go to the liquor store. So I get up, manage to get up, and I'm starting to walk out the door and get to Howard Street and trip and fall in the middle of the street and break my leg. So I got the broken ribs and the broken leg. And I'm back in traffic, and the cop says, comes over to me and said, just hang in there. The ambulance is coming to take you to the hospital. And I looked at him and said, I don't want to go to the hospital. I want to go to the cutlery store. And he just looked at me. So there I am, homeless with a broken leg and broken ribs. I'm in the hospital. They take me up. And I'm homeless because I just not no insurance. Or I had insurance, but the insurance wouldn't cover me to stay at this hospital. And they gave me a pair of crutches and put me out the door. So I didn't know I was standing at the hospital with a broken ribs and crutches. Can't even walk. I didn't know what to do. So I called my stepmom, and she came and she picked me up. And she took me to St. Agnes Hospital. And they set my leg there. The other hospital wouldn't even set my leg because I was homeless. You know, I didn't think they could do that, but I guess they can. And St. Agnes set my leg and take my ribs out. And they put me in the nursing home for 3 weeks. Then I could walk 25, they get up every day to walk on a walker. And I had broken ribs. And my insurance wouldn't cover me to get a wheelchair. So there I am again. I'm walking 25 yards. I finally got up and they said, that's as far as you gotta go. We're done with you, you gotta go. So they put me out on the street. So then I went down to the Help Not Missing. We got a room down there overnight. My stepmom took me down there. They said they had an opening. When I got down there, they didn't have an opening. And I said, what am I going to do? I'm going to work 25 yards when it's thing, then I got to sit down. I mean, that was crazy. My stepmom I got her to take me back to that house where I broke the ribs at, and I stayed there. And be honest with you, alcohol has taken me to some bad places, but this did it for me. When I was there, the guy asked me if I wanted any vodka, and I said, yeah, get me a fifth, and I gave him the money. And he come back, and in that time I had said a prayer to God. That's a third step prayer in AA book. And I did that, and God came into my life. You know, I didn't know what to do, where to go. I could only stay at their house for a day, and that was it. So they came back with a bottle of vodka, and I tried to take a sip of it, and I spit it up. My body would not even take the alcohol. Would not take it. I think God was working there for me. And then finally I got into GBMC. They took me in there, and then they put me in the psych ward. But they gave me a wheelchair. You know, their insurance told me the insurance did cover a wheelchair. So there I was homeless, with a broken leg and broken ribs, didn't know where to go. When I got out of the Shepherd Pratt, that's where I was at Shepherd Pratt, the psych ward there. So I called a friend of mine up that I knew in AA, and the man, you know, I had enough drinking. I had enough of being homeless. I was homeless for about 15 years, and it's hell. You know, and you know, it's just unbearable. The summertime ain't too bad, but the wintertime is killer. Or when it rains, you can't panhandle to get your money. But right now, I'm in a room right now. I got myself back on my feet. I had a job, and I get a Social Security check now, not SSI. SSI cut me off now that I got, you know, a Social Security check. So I don't have to be homeless anymore. I've had enough of it.